The Commanding Self. This book is written by a man named Idries Shah. This is one of his many books. Mr. Shah was a Sufi, or is a Sufi master. Was. And most of his stuff is really important stuff. His really important writings in his books came out of the 1970s. He's from Afghanistan. He was educated in England. He was very articulate. He was very intelligent. He was a very powerful man in his own right. He wrote a lot of books about Sufi traditions. Right? I'm a strong believer in a lot of the Sufi traditions and the things that they represent, because it's really not a religion. Sufism is like this book. This book is about the commanding self. It's not about understanding everybody else. It's about you. It's about understanding that part of your psyche that commands yourself, your ego. Right? There's a lot of really cool wisdom in here. Right? What it is it's mostly questions and answers that people write in. This book here, right? It's mostly people, students, for over years, right, write in and ask him a question, and he responds to it. And there's a lot of parables and stuff, right? And there's a lot of allegorical meaning in a lot of the things that he say. I'm hoping that most people understand what I say when I mean allegorical meaning. You know what I'm saying? The hidden meaning in things. There's a hidden side to everything in life. So anyways, I thought I'd pick out a few of the parables and stuff in this book, and try to explain to you what I think it means, because I'm not explaining to you what I want you to learn from it, because remember, this is about me. When you read a book like this, you're not supposed to learn any manipulating tactics and tricks on how to read other people. It's about learning about yourself. That's mostly what the Sufi traditions are. Rumi and all of those guys from the old days. You know what I'm saying? They spoke of the loved one, the love of their life. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The destroyer. Right? They were talking about God. That part of themselves that they believed was God. That they say that we're made, that man was created in the image of God. Well, you know what I'm saying? I think what that means to me is that if I was made in his image, well then I'm part of him. So therefore there's a part of me that's God-like. Now that might be, very blasphemous to certain peoples. You know what I'm saying? But they strive to be like their God every day. That's what they say. So why can't I strive to be like what I believe to be God? I believe God to be the greater part of the universe that I come from, right? Because I'm a being of the universe. I was created out of everything that's in the open universe. I'm part of it just as much as it's a part of me. But Mr. Shah and the Sufi traditions, right? They're there to try to help us discover those things about ourselves that the greater universe is trying to teach us. Right? The people that believe in reincarnation, right, and all of that stuff, they believe that the reason they were reincarnated is because they didn't learn those life lessons along the way in the previous life. So they were reincarnated into a new life so that they could have another shot at trying to understand the life lessons that they didn't get. Well, what's wrong with that? Makes sense. You know what I'm saying? The old Celts and the Druids and stuff, the Druids believed in the three spheres, right? The lowest sphere was the animalistic tendencies, the middle sphere was the human tendencies, and the upper sphere was God, right? And that man, if he didn't devolve and lower himself into his animalistic tendencies, right, sooner or later he would evolve and he would reach the higher realms of the upper sphere and he would become part of the known universe. Right? In their traditions, they don't believe that they die. When they die, they go to heaven. They believe they become heaven. Even Anton LaVey in the Church of Satan, even they had a system of belief. Right? Now, most modern Satanists are not those freaky, weird, devil-worshipping folios that run around cutting the heads off of cats. Those people are not Satanists. Those people have no understanding of what Mr. LaVey was all about. Mr. LaVey wasn't about that. Mr. LaVey was about understanding the teachings that were handed down by Lucifer. Remember, Lucifer was one of God's angels. He was the number one angel. He was the angel that was before and above all other angels. Right? The reason he was cast out of heaven is because he wanted to be God. He wanted to take over. And he created the war in heaven. And he had his side, and God had his side. And they fought this war for thousands and thousands and thousands of human generations. And that's what Mr. LaVey, that's what his belief is. He thought on a higher level. He thought on that level of angelic belief. And he believed that he was there. And believe me, there are a lot of people that followed him. Right? It's not his fault that, a small select percentage of idiots, right, took something that somebody spent their whole life trying to understand and twisted it around for their own needs and wants and satisfactions. Hey, you want to commit your soul to the devil? Well, then I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to do the devil's bidding until you die and he claims your soul. Me? I believe in the super traditions, and I believe in the traditions of life and where we're supposed to be. So, in the next coming videos, I'm going to be talking about super traditions and what I believe to be their message and how it works and how it fits in to life that we know. Because Mr. Shah said it in 1974, I believe it was, that sooner or later Hollywood and that the media at large we're going to pick up on the Sufi traditions and the teachings, and they were going to start slowly instilling them through the media, right? Hey, one of the greatest media outlets, right, is the movies, right? And one of the very first people that started putting Sufi teachings out there was Mr. Lucas, Star Wars, right? And the reason that he started thinking this way was because he traveled to Tunisia. He sat out there in the desert with the Bedouins. And he learned their culture and he learned their traditions. Right? And he came up with this story. Right? And if you think about it, you understand, and if you do just a little tiny bit of research, right, into what Idries Shah has to say, hell, if you just read one or two of Rumi's poems, or how about this? You know what I'm saying? Read the Congress of the Birds or the Malawathi. I'm probably not saying it right, but that's because I'm a hillbilly from Winslow, Arizona. But I know what it says. The Conference of the Birds. Look that one up. Right? Manly P. Hall, he was another one. Right? His traditions are based on higher thinking. Right? Read his stuff. Manly P. Hall. Alright, so I hope you're interested. I hope you watch my videos, because I'm going to be making 3 or 4. Just I'll throw them all in a playlist. If you click on my channel and you surf around a little bit, you'll discover that there's a system to what I do. You know what I'm saying? If you like what I'm saying, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.